She looked right through me, eyes like glass, and said it calm, flat, deliberate. He's everything you're not. No hesitation, no flinch, just brutal honesty dressed as clarity. That was the moment something inside me folded in on itself. Love didn't just die. It burned to ash in an instant. And the worst part? She meant every word. We were sitting in the same booth where we'd once built dreams like castles out of salt and sand. Same old diner. Same worn-out leather seats. Same flickering light above us that used to feel romantic and now just felt tired. Even the coffee mugs were the same, the ones we used to toast to forever. I thought she asked to meet because she wanted to fix something, maybe patch the cracks, salvage what was left. But she didn't come to rebuild. She came to sign the death certificate. Quiet, cold, efficient. I didn't plan this. It just happened. Her voice didn't shake. Then she dropped a line that gutted me. He brings out something in me, something you never did. I stared at her like a man, trying to hear something that wasn't being said, waiting for a flicker of doubt in her expression, a tremor in her hand, some tiny sign of remorse. But there was nothing. Her fingers rested calmly around her mug. Her peppermint tea sent up soft curls of steam, the scent arriving in my nose just seconds before her words hit my chest like a freight train. And then came the silence. Not the kind you fill with small talk or awkward laughter. This was the kind that lives in your ribs, that fills every room inside you and locks all the doors from the inside. When she stood to leave, I didn't even try to stop her. I just sat there, watching my reflection in the window, barely recognizing the man staring back at me. He looked hollow, not heartbroken, but erased. The days that followed blurred together like smudged ink. I moved through them like a ghost, haunting the edges of my own life. Couldn't eat, couldn't think, couldn't sleep without her voice echoing in my head, repeating his name like a curse I couldn't break. Friend tried to pull me out. Bar nights, loud music, stupid movies, road trips to nowhere. But heartbreak isn't a switch. It doesn't care how far you drive or how loud you laugh. It follows you. It sits beside you in every silence, waits for you at the bottom of every drink, curls up at the foot of your bed like a wound that refuses to close. Then one afternoon, I unlocked my phone, and there it was, a photo, him, with his hand on her waist like it was his by right. Her, glowing, radiant in a way I hadn't seen in years. Like the woman I loved had finally bloomed, just not with me. I studied her face, searching for shadow of who we were. But she looked brighter, freer, like I'd been a cloudy season, and he was her summer. I started to question everything. Was he more fun? More dangerous? More the wild she secretly craved, while I offered only safety? I didn't ask. I didn't want the answer. I was afraid it would be the final nail in a coffin I still hadn't buried. But slowly, something shifted. I made a decision not to forget her, because you can't really forget the person you once built your future around, but to rediscover myself inside the wreckage. I began walking, with no destination, just movement. Picked up my journal again for the first time in years. The words came slow at first, then faster, like old friends coming home. I went back to the gym, not to change how I looked, but to feel something. I stopped checking her socials, blocked the updates, stopped keeping tabs on someone who didn't want to be found. And little by little, the world began to feel real again. Coffee didn't taste like bitterness anymore. The sunrises didn't feel like punishment. The ache in my chest eased enough for me to breathe, without effort. One morning, I stood on my balcony, watching the city wake up, and I caught myself smiling for no reason at all. That's when I knew I was no longer just surviving. I was living again. Almost a year passed. Then one night, my phone buzzed. It was her. "Can we talk?" I froze, not because I was hoping for it, but because I never thought it would come. We met again at the same diner, same booth, same chip mugs, but nothing else felt the same. She looked smaller somehow. Not physically, but in presence. Her voice was softer. Her smile worn thin. There was no glow this time, only exhaustion and something like regret. "Thanks for meeting me," she said. I nodded, said nothing. I didn't need to. I was just there to listen. "I thought he was better," she whispered, voice tight. But he wasn't. He made me feel things, intense, chaotic things, but none of them were real. It was noise. And by the time I realized what I gave up, you were already gone. She reached across the table, hand trembling. I'm sorry. I miss you. I know I don't deserve a second chance. But if even a part of you still remembers us, her voice cracked. She started crying, right there in the booth where she'd once broken me. I didn't feel anger, or pity, or even sadness. I felt still, balanced, like standing in the eye of a storm. I'm not the man you left, I said quietly. I loved you. I gave you everything I had. And yeah, for a long time, I dreamt about you coming back and saying these exact words. Her eyes flickered with hope. But now that you have, I continued, I know something I didn't know then. She leaned in. What? I'm okay without you. That was the moment she shattered. Her shoulders shook with the weight of everything unsaid, every regret, every choice that couldn't be undone. But I didn't reach for her. I didn't wipe away the tears. For the first time, I didn't need to save her. For a long time, I believed closure was something someone else gave you. But it's not. It's something you build quietly, alone, in the spaces where someone else used to live. I thought I needed you to come back. I told her, but I didn't. This isn't closure. This is confirmation. I survived. She wiped her eyes, her voice barely holding together. I hope life's kind to you. You too, I said, and I meant it. She stood, slower this time, the weight of her choices clinging to every step. She walked away with no fire left, no victory in her stride. But I didn't watch her leave. I didn't need to. I stayed in that booth for a while, finishing the last of my coffee, feeling the warmth of the cup fading in my hands. Then I stepped outside. The breeze hit me full in the chest, and for once it didn't sting. She once said he was everything I wasn't. Maybe she was right. But almost a year later, she came back, not glowing, not triumphant, but broken. And I didn't break.